How's it? Just a short round and you're watching Gearing Trail. We're taking a break here at Focus Honda State Park. We're going to talk to you later about how the Salsa Timberjack performed, 275. So right now we're just chilling. Thanks for watching. Alright, second time out on this bike. Woo. Woo. Yeah. Woo. Oh shit. Oh fuck. Yeah. Woo-hoo. That's so fucking fun. Woo. Don't got quite my don't have my mountain bike confidence and legs back yet. Haven't ridden since May before the gout attack, so riding pretty conservatively, but the bike wants to do what it wants to do. It's very dialed in with the short stem, wider bars, short chainstay. It wants to launch, and it's you can have a lot of fun in some rowdy sections, but I'm not being real rowdy right now. So in 2009, the 29er started hitting the bike market, and it intrigued me. So I decided to just get a simple, rigid, single-speed 29er, and it won me over. So since 2009, I've been on a 29er ever since. Up to speed in 2018, I've been riding with a lot of my friends who have plus bikes, whether they're 27.5 plus or 29 plus. And the thing that I did notice is it seemed like it was confidence inspiring. They were hauling where usually they'd be braking, and they were railing into corners where usually they'd be slowing down. And I had to pedal to keep up with them. There was definitely something about it. So in 2018, I bought a Salsa Timberjack NX-1, and I was able to ride it one time before I got out of nowhere an acute gout attack, which put me on my back for 3-4 months. So I was able to take this bike out for the second time, and now it's what, September, late September, and give it another test. So this is just a quick, look at the bike, the upgrades that I've done to it, as well as my initial impressions of the bike. This is my first time trying 27.5 and plus, and I have to tell you, I have since sold my 29er. I still have a commuter 29er, but as far as for mountain biking, this thing is so dialed in. The thing that I love about it is, just everything's dialed in. You got a shorter stem, you got longer handlebars, shorter chain stays, and then the width of the tires. So with all those combined, it gives you a very confidence-inspiring ride. I was able to rail into things, and the geometry of the bike made it so that it just wanted to always go up, like launch. and I was clearing tabletops that I've never done before on my 29er with this, and I wasn't even trying, it was just doing it. So this bike is made dual purpose. It's made for bike packing as well as trail riding, and there's some upgrades I'm going to share with you in just a second. But the first things that kind of that I was disappointed with the bike is the Maxell here. It was not a toolless Maxell. It was one where you have to use an Allen key to remove the axle. So I went ahead and upgraded and got the Maxell toolless. And then the tires. The tires are not tubeless compatible. They come with inner tubes. And then the rims are tubeless compatible. And Salsa does say that from the factory, the rims are tubeless ready, meaning they're taped. But unfortunately, when I took the inner tubes out, it was just rim strips. So I was a little disappointed with that. Looking over here at the crank arms, I also thought that was a hollow crank arm with an external bottom bracket. It ended up being a power spline, which I was disappointed about that. Then moving back to the rear, I also thought that was a through Maxell. It's a 9mm QR. So I paid around $1,200 for the bike. So bare bones. It's got great beginner entry componentry. The NX-1 is great. But in order to use a through axle, you have to change the hub on the wheel or get a new wheel for the rear. Now, what I upgraded is I went ahead and got tubeless. I got the rims taped and set up tubeless. I'm running Kenda Havocs now, and these are 275 by 28, and these are great. I rode with them for the first time today, killer. Then what else did I change? Oh, I got a KS lever dropper for the seat post. It just came with a standard non-droppable seat post, so I got that. And then if you look here in the triangle, I got what's called the Vincero Designs. It's a strong magnet that acts as the cage, and as you see here, there's no water bottle cage. It's actually just a magnet. All right, so up close we got a SRAM 30T X-Sync chain ring, and then on the rear we got 11T to 42T, so it's a decent range. Today's real radical, you know, 50 seems to be the standard, or 46. Then you got the NX 11-speed SRAM NX-1 derailleur. Over here I've added fenders to both the fork and the rear. And then here's the KS E10 dropper. So rather than it being internally routed and a remote at the top, you just depress while you're sitting, then get off the seat, and lift back up. That's only 100mm right there. And the cockpit, it's all stock, bars, stock stem. Added the little bell right there. Changed the grips to ESI, and again, here's the close-up of the Vincero Designs. Super strong. The only time I've ever lost this was when a dog chased me down a it was basically a sidewalk ramp on one of these trails, and I threw the bike and jumped off so the dog wouldn't get run over, and that's the only time these were ever dislodged. Yeah, pretty strong. Up front we got the Judy 120 silver, and of course down to the Maxell. Comfortable ride. You can set it open or in the center, or completely lock it out, and then you can set the rebound over on this side. Up top you got the Volt 135 WTB, super comfortable saddle. I use WTB exclusively now on all my bikes, and very comfortable in the cockpit for long rides, trails, etc. Down below we got the WTB scrapers, or scrappers, however you pronounce them, and you know, this is part of the big step up from what I was using before. All right, and it uses hydraulic brakes from Tektro. Now when they come shipped to you, these are going to be way low, and you can actually, if I can see it, if you can see right here, there's a an Allen key screw, and you can dial in your grip or your lever to be pulled in closer to your grip. So that's where you can adjust that at. Have no complaints with the brake system so far. I'm going to basically keep using these till something ever bad happens, and then I will switch out to something else. Now you see here in the Shrimp NX-1 crank arms, it's power spline, so there's no external bottom bracket. Wasn't too happy about that, so this is also going to be something I'm going to upgrade once these things go bad, and go with a hollow crank and external bottom bracket. So my initial impressions, second ride after 3 to 4 months of dealing with this acute gout attack. It was good to get on my bike again. I love this thing. Come next month I will be doing a bike packing trip with it, and it's got, I forgot to show you this, it also has braze-ons and mounts for other cages that you can have things carry other gear. And in my older video I'll be using all my Blackburn Outpost bike packing bags. So I have the triangle, the saddle bag, the handlebar roll, what else, the gas tank, and that will be it. So you'll see a video about that, my bike packing setup for the Greenbrier River Trail. I'm super excited to do that. But this is very capable of trail riding, and if the season was still there, I would have taken this to the Gravity Park, but their season has ended, so I'll wait for next year. But total capable. I mean, this thing rolls through anything. You can be super aggressive with this bike. I'm super impressed with it. I can't wait to get on it more often. But it's been raining here a lot. We've had a couple, the Florence just rolled through, and we just had a really rainy summer. So once the trails dry up, I'll be out on this again. And I wouldn't say this is a quiver killer, but it's definitely a great addition to a quiver, and it may even condense down your quiver. So as of now, this is like my third bike that I own now, and super impressed. Gonna hold on to it for sure. Salsa Timberjack 27.5 NX-1. Peace.